Welcome to your Formula 1 Qatar Grand Prix preview. First of all, we have to address the elephant in the room that Max Verstappen has just won the Drivers' Championship, so there is no championship fight in the Drivers. However, it very much is heating up for Ferrari and McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren leads Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship by 24 points with 2 rounds to go, including sprint races. It's been a while since McLaren have won the Constructors' Championship, all the way back when in 1998 when they won with Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard. Remember them? Red Bull is pretty much out of it, stuck in 3rd place, unfortunately, and Mercedes can't do any better than 4th now, so it's really coming down between the two old heads in Ferrari and McLaren. But it's not just at the front that the battle is heating up. As we look further down, it's a really hot battle for 6th place, with Haas, Alpine and Racing Bulls all split by 5 points, and that is a fight worth millions. Now let's talk about Mercedes, as they were the major standout in Vegas, and it caught everyone by surprise, but should have it. George Russell was fast in Brazil too, even if Lewis wasn't, and the Mercedes has proven to be something of a cool weather car, really performing in the colder temperatures. I mean, Belgium was cool, Silverstone was cool, Vegas also cool, but looking to this weekend, Qatar very much isn't. However, Russell does remain confident. Overly so? Maybe. I mean, he was fast in the sprint here last year before he burnt the tyres up and Piastri won, but it will be interesting to see because Mercedes has found a little bit of pace recently, and will they take some points away from the Constructors' fight up ahead? Now, the Qatar Grand Prix is the last sprint event of the season. Evidently, there's only 2 races left, so of course it will be. Of the 5 so far, Max Verstappen has won 4 of them, and Oscar Piastri more or less did in Sao Paulo, but Norris was the winner on paper. So I guess that makes Max the sprint champion as well. Regardless, teams will have just an hour of practice on Friday, all before jumping into sprint qualifying. Then of course the sprint itself, and then quali for the actual race before the race on Sunday. So you know the drill by now, we've had a few. The question is to be asked, is this sprint format favourable to the old one? And personally, I quite enjoyed the old sprint format, you see. I mean, we can touch on this a little bit further on later, so stay tuned for that. But the old sprint format was good because it gave an element of risk for the drivers, because the sprint used to determine your starting position for the race based on where you finished in the sprint. So the people at the front, they don't want to risk it too much and put themselves in jeopardy for the race, but those at the back, well, nothing to lose, so you have quite a lot of battling in the sprint. But now, it's a completely different event, right, from the main race. Look, we've had a full season running of this format. Let's see what people think, and who knows what they're going to do next. But now we've got to bring it over to some news for Australians. You know, Jack Doohan will be making his Formula 1 debut in Alpine next year, and he's opted for quite a famous number in the world of sport, but one that has not been used all that much in Formula 1, apart from Kimi Raikkonen, the Iceman, who got the number because he didn't pick one, so they gave it to him, so it meant nothing to him. But it's number 7. Jack Doohan will be driving with the car number 7 from 2025 onwards. Kimi just fell into it. He couldn't be bothered changing it. The most unbothered man on the track. But hopefully Jack can bring it some success. So before we jump into the fun part, all the predictions, let's hand it over to Matt, who's actually live on the ground currently in Qatar. Matt, first of all, how's it looking down there? Hopefully the temperature's all right. What have you got for me, Matt?
It was definitely a warm one as I arrived in Qatar today. Mid to high 30s I saw at one point, but cooling down significantly by the time we get to Friday, Saturday and Sunday and cars hit track. Somewhere around mid 20s, probably even cooler than that once they do hit track, because it's sort of a late afternoon, early evening time frame for the on-track sessions. Well, the temperature here caught the driver's attention last year. What's caught my attention over the last week has been Cadillac. Of course, the former Andretti team has now been admitted in. Cadillac formally is set to enter Formula 1 for 2026. Formula 1 made that announcement during the week, and let's be honest, it's Andretti. They can call it Cadillac, they can call it TWG Group, they can call it whatever they like. It is the same entry as what it was when they rejected it back in January. All they've done is moved a couple of people around. Michael Andretti is no longer the figurehead of the organization, Dan Towers is, but Dan Towers has been where the money's coming from, so it's the same people making the chassis. Cadillac has always been involved in one way, shape or form. That may change a percentage point here or there, but by and large, this remains identical. It's curious that this has all happened now. This hasn't finished. There's a lot more to come out on exactly how we got to this point in Cadillac coming in, why exactly this time, and what's to come.
Alrighty, so it's time for everyone's predictions. Let's start with first place. Who do we think is going to win the Qatar Grand Prix? Well, for me, I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri. Last week I said that he would do well because there's no pressure on him. McLaren were just slow in Vegas. Let's palm that off. I think Qatar will suit their car a little bit more. I think Oscar Piastri will win the Qatar Grand Prix. He was really good here last year, and that is my prediction. Matt says that Lando Norris will win, so there you go. We think a McLaren will win. What do you guys think? But for second place, I'm going to go for Carlos Sainz. I think Carlos Carlos Sainz has been in a pretty good form recently. And Matt, he's gone for a McLaren 1-2, Lando, and then Oscar. I've gone for a McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, because I think that Lando will finish P3. I'm saying P1 Oscar, then Sainz, and then Lando Norris. Matt has gone for Norris, Piastri, and Carlos Sainz. So we think it will be the same podium, but we've switched it around a little bit. I think Oscar Piastri will win the Qatar Grand Prix for 24, and, well, Matt has gone for Lando Norris. So then, guys, there are our predictions, and there's your recap as we head into the Qatar Grand Prix for 2024, the second to last race of the season, and it's not over. The Constructors is still boiling to the surface, so stay tuned for what happens over the course of this weekend. Make sure you let us know your predictions for the weekend in the comments below, and we shall see how that all unfolds for all of us. I got mine last week pretty badly wrong, so let's see how it holds up for now. Make sure you head over to the speedcafe.com website to stay up to date with all the news as it comes first, and of course make sure you follow us on social media to get all the updates coming through live and all the videos like these. Thank you so much for watching this Formula 1 preview brought to you by the Ford F-150.
America's favorite truck is here. The Ford F-150. Go big.